Mapfumo. All right then. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you so much. I see there's a lot more people coming through. We're just Mama Mapfumo to now Mapfumo today is gonna be murder. We are gonna be cracking up. Welcome, Leonard Mapfumo. We are happy to have you today on Zimai, and on all our channels this evening.
Oh, wonderful stuff.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We just came in there trying to play your new single, Haruperi. How's that going before we go any further?
Oh, it's been going very well. We're enjoying the feedback. We are enjoying we're enjoying what people are saying about it, the reception that it got, and I think it's doing amazing.
Right. Brilliant. I see Joe Machingura is with us tonight this evening. Thank you so much, Joe, for joining us. And I might keep 2 chats. Let's see if we can play 2 chats very quickly before we get into the thing, right? It's one of my favorites as well.
That's your request already.
Yeah, this one goes to Mike Kim. Let's see. Wow, man. Is that the one, Mike Kim? That's a brilliant record, by the way, Leonard. You did a good job on this one.
Thank you so much.
Nice. A lot more people are joining us. I'm really grateful, guys. Chipo, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. 2 chairs. 2 chairs. Yeah. Wow, go on, Chinashin Panong. What I say? Baby, 2 chairs. Nice one. That's 2 chairs. They're going there out there to Mike Kim, yeah. And also to me, it's one of my favorite songs. Thank you so much, people, for joining us. It's really lovely to have Leonard. Yes, Leonard. We are going to be speaking about a lot of things. Some of them nice, some of them unnice. See, we're just going to chat about your work. Where you come from. Where you are. A little bit about you as a person, because we only know Leonard the superstar, but we don't know much about Leonard the person.
I think Leonard the superstar is yet to get there to become a superstar.
Okay. No, you are a superstar. I mean, just to give a bit of a background to those who don't know Leonard Mapfumo has been doing music since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's when these guys started. I think Leonard, you still hold the record for the most weeks on #1, don't you? 42 weeks.
Yes, I do. 42 weeks for my day.
Right, my day spent 42 weeks on #1.
On #1, yeah, on the pole position, yeah. That's amazing.
That's never been topped before, and until now. Yeah, so that's Leonard Mapfumo for you guys. He did that, and he worked with Rocky when they started. These guys started what we now know, or what we became to know, is the urban groove. And I think for me, this movement is what started a lot of what we're seeing today in our music circles. So we've got him today. Leonard is also working on new projects. Amongst other things, Leonard is a creative director. He works with NAMA. He was one of the creative directors for NAMA. Leonard works with youths. He will tell us more about the work that he's been doing with youths in Zimbabwe, with JCMC and Dream Star, and all those things all those nice things, all those responsible things that Leonard does. So yes, please share this vibe, because it's gonna be good. You're gonna be hearing stuff that you don't normally hear from Leonard today. We are going to get into some stuff. Yes. So right, we want to get into it very quickly. I think I've given just a brief background. I mean, I think I cannot spend enough time introducing Leonard Mapfumo. Okay. There's a lot more. All right, I'm going to give you a chance, Leonard, now at this moment to just tell us a lot more about yourself. Give us a bit of a background of who Leonard Mapfumo is.
All right. You said most of it. Leonard Mapfumo is a son, a father, a husband, a brother. One of my brothers is actually watching Joe Machingura Haitian Fish. Some call me Kule. So I'm a Kule in some circles. But overall, I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I started off, like you said, in the early 2000s, but I like to look at myself as someone who started in the late 90s, right at the end of the millennium, in the beginning of 2000, when we were getting into 2000 Y2K.
Right.
The Y2Ks. That's when I started off. My journey in music started off as passion, just wanting to record music and get it out there. But over the years, it has evolved into production and stage management, which I would then elaborate further in the interview. I then became a creative director for a couple of projects, which include Nama, like you highlighted, Dreamstar for Jacaranda Culture and Media Corporation as well. We opened up organizations or studios, record labels, to assist young people that didn't have places to record. So I would say Leonard Mapfumo is a creative, he's an entrepreneur, he's a humanitarian.
Right, right, right.
A few things, yeah.
Well, those are the nice things that we then we want to know also the other things. Okay, we'll get to know them. Before the end of the night. We'll get to know the other things, right? That people don't like about Leonard, right? And
Let's
also,
hope.
guys, while you're watching, feel free to tell us what do you like about Leonard, what don't you like about Leonard, so that we know, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how people
Bring in
grow.
those questions, what they want to know as well.
Exactly. We also want you guys to post questions in the comments. Yes. Denimas Temba says, "Why does he do?" Leonard has just explained what he does, and we're gonna get to know a lot more about what he does in due course. Now, I want to just track back to your to when you started. How do you get to work with Rocky? How did that come about, and how do you connect?
Yeah. Well, I think our connection with Rocky was very simple because we all loved the same thing. We loved music. We loved arts. So our connection was very simple. But the thing that connected us was, or the person that connected us was Delani Makalima. One day I went to the studio. I knocked on the door, and Delani came out. And when he came out, another young man also came out of the studio who was hyperactive. He was holding a hoover. He was holding a hoover, and he just introduced himself. He said, "Hey, I'm Rockford Josephat." I said, "Hey, hi,
Right.
man. So what do you do?" I said, "No, I'm a rapper." He said, "Well, I'm a singer. I'm a rapper. I do dance." So he did everything. He did everything. He's multi-talented. He did everything. So he introduced himself, and he was a character that wanted to know what other people were doing. So it was an amazing feeling. So after that, we were supposed to do a song with Roy and Royce, Seiko, and we became friends over a period of, I think, 3 months. Then I was supposed to do a song with Roy and Royce. The song was titled Seiko. And after that, Roy and Royce didn't pitch. In fact, they were busy. They were at work, so they couldn't find time to come and record. So then I thought, why doesn't Rocco just get on the track and do the track and see how it sounds? Delani wasn't sure, so one day I went back to the studio and Rocco did put the vocals on the song, and the song just sounded like how it should sound, how I pictured it, how I thought it would sound, and that's how we became friends from that moment on.
Fantastic. So from the very first time you met, you got a musical connection.
We got a musical connection. Everything just fell into place. He was a happy person. He wanted to know what everyone was about. He had this creative energy that was around him, and he just wanted to be around people. That's how we became friends, because I was coming from Bari, and hanging with people was one of the things that we do to Ashkelon. The same thing with Rockford. Bridge Redrangar studio at Dilan. So that's how we became friends. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh my God, we've been joined by Lazy T as well.
Oh,
Thank you
that's
so much.
right.
Andy
Right.
Baba, Andy Baba.
Oh. Mr. Chapo.
We're joined by. I'm gonna introduce this person who just joined us just now, guys. After just going through your comments, and what's going on, Nanyara? We're talking to musician and artist and philanthropist and entrepreneur and everything. Leonard Mapfumo here. We've just been joined by another guest who I'm going to introduce also very soon. Rems, this is a conversation with an artist whose work transcends a lot of other artists. This guy has got 42 weeks on number one, a record that's never been broken before. 7 number one records. He works with other people. I've seen him myself grooming other people, including Shinso, that we all love and know. So we're just gonna crack him and see what we can get. We want to see the other things that we don't know. All right, nice one. I'll be explaining. Right, we've been joined by another superstar in the building. We've been joined by Fusion 5. Mangwiro, right? These guys can pipe and my pipes. When I say people who can sing, right? So I'm gonna let the gentleman from Fusion 5 introduce himself, and then we can continue with the conversation as we continue to crack Mapfumo.
All right. Hello guys, what's up? Uncle Leo. My name is I'm all right, Uncle. My name is Brian Maguta, and I'm part of Fusion 5 Mangwiro. Just here as a representative. So Fusion 5 Mangwiro is consists of Aaron Manyati, Gilbert Gatizo, and myself. Yeah, that makes us Fusion 5, the three of us, and we are here. We so excited. 2021 has been an amazing year, and we are happy and excited that we have a nice jam and good project with. I call him my legend. Personally, he's my legend. It was just one of these days. I was saying to the guys, I remember one time Leonard Mapfumo is my legend. Yeah, I used to listen to Leonard Mapfumo on radio, but today people and the whole nation are listening to us in the same jam, the same radio, man.
Wow!
Just amazing. Yeah,
that is powerful. That is powerful. So you used to listen to Leonard Mapfumo when you were younger?
I used to listen to Leonard Mapfumo when I was younger. I was a dancer, and most of the time I would listen to his bars and I would dance. But I didn't know that today I was gonna be at the stage. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Wow! Thank you so much. I mean, this is inspiration personified, isn't it? If inspiration was a person, this is it. Yeah. No, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna be talking.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. No, we'll stay with you in this broadcast, and we're gonna be talking to you about your work and how you see Mapfumo, and we're gonna be asking you also questions. Now that you're on the firing line, you might as well just jump on the firing line. Yeah, nice one. Thank you so much, everyone who's joining in. All right, Mapfumo, we're gonna come back to you. Okay.
All right.
How did you stay sober, Munyadzima Records? Because you guys, you got into this thing, you were so young. You remember 17, right? How did you stay sober? Because for you to be still where you are right now.
All right. I think I would give credit to two people, my mom and Dilani Makalema. My mom, reason being, every Sunday, she would wake us up early in the morning, and she would tell us, 7 o'clock, you need to get up, prepare, and go to church. We'll meet at church. She would go first, and you had to make sure that you had to be there before the mass started. So you had to be at church before 9 o'clock. So, the Bible says that lead a child in the way they should go, and they will never depart from it. And I believe that is true, because my mom taught us a way of life that we should keep to, that we should adhere to. And when I grew up, I kind of followed that. Every time that I wanted to do something, at the back of my mind, my mom would say, do you think that is right? So I had to restrain myself. Then number two, when I walked into the studio and I met Dilani Magalema, Dilani had a speech that he used to give people and said, there are 3 things that destroy an artist, which is alcohol, drugs, and women. If you manage to stay away from these things, drugs, alcohol, and women, you'll be successful. You have a successful career. You have one controversial free career. So I followed this advice from Leonard Mapfumo, and I followed what my mom taught me. So it kind of helped me to limit the amount of naughtiness that I had to.
You've just
Limit the amount of naughtiness, because no one is perfect. The industry is quite vicious. It's like a viper. When it bites, it what can I say? It corrupts. But you need to find a way of finding an antidote. An antidote is what you get from either your upbringing or from the people that surround you. So my antidote was my mom, Leonard Mapfumo, and the friends that I then picked up as I was becoming who I am today. Even ask Brian, when I speak to artists, when I speak to people that are coming up, it's these three things that I tell them. You should be careful of alcohol, drugs, and women, because I learned it from the best.
Alcohol, drugs, and women. Yeah.
Is that true, Brian? Is he always saying that, or is he just saying that in front of TV so everyone can think he's such a nice guy?
Yeah. Now I know. Now I know where he got this, and I know it's from Mr. Mapfumo now, because he's always talking about those three things. Like, if you want to be successful, if you want to grow in the music industry, if you want to make it, you can have talent, you can have people backing you up every time. But as long as you don't have these three things as your key, then you're not going somewhere or anywhere. Drugs, alcohol, and women.
Nah. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on a minute. Okay, let me just take you back. Right? Tese taiudzwa tisizamukutaura, but vazhinji vemusicians vedu vakafeila, even if vaimuka vachienda kuchechi, even if vaitozvi kuti the sure chi ukawanza madrugs, ukawanza alcohol, ukataka chi unoita se aubudirira. And also kune vakawanda, remember, kune vakawanda who don't even do these things, right? Vasingaita drugs but vasina kukwanisa kuita successful careers sezvamakaita imi Mapfumo, right? Saka what I want to find out, what of course you didn't do that, but look, in art, in all forms of art, in entertainment, musicians drink, right? And they can still be successful. Musicians do drugs, they can still be successful. Musicians have lots of women and they are still successful. We have thousands of musicians who are still successful, even with those three elements in place, including a mother who tells them where to pray. I'm sure there are other things I'm sure there are other tricks of the trade that you learn. Okay. I want to take you back to, how did it feel to have a number one song at 17? How did you feel the first time you heard your number one song on radio, or everyone playing your song?
It was amazing. It was one of those things that you dream to have a number one track. I had done other songs. I had done songs like Seiko, Shades, and Diwe, and these songs, they done well on radio. And when my day started playing and it went on number one, it was an amazing feeling. It added to the amount of visibility that was there. We were quite visible. We everywhere we went to, people knew who we were. But when I did my day, that was multiplied 10 times more.
Right.
And when you are visible, the amount of things that come your way, they are a lot. So I had a lot of responsibilities, because I had to manage a lot of things. I had to manage my career. I had to manage my life as a son, as a friend. You know where it's going. So when I became number one, it meant more money, and we were very young, and we did not have the kind of advice that young people are getting now. We didn't have the kind of leadership that would help us in terms of managing the stuff that we had, because everything was multiplied 10 times more. We are making more money. I'll give you an example. Most times when we got into town, because we're now living as bachelors at 17. We're living as bachelors at 17.
What a disaster.
Exactly, what a disaster. So sometimes we didn't have, we wouldn't do our laundry. We would say, why do we have to do our laundry? We just get into town and buy new clothes. And when those clothes are dirty, we either throw them away. We're kind of misguided in that. So having a number one song and having a lot of money and not having guidance was one thing that I regret now. But we had to learn quick. I think one gentleman who was from Telecel, who sat me down and said, Mapfumo, you've got all this money. What are you doing with it? What are you doing it? What is there that you will leave and say, okay, with all this money that I'm making, I'm going to leave A, B, C, D. I then sat down and started thinking on my own, what should I do? What will I leave? What does he mean? When he said that, he kind of shed a light on me. So I had to slow down. I had to put on the brakes and say, no, I'm going to slow down here. I'm going to slow down here and I'm going to start doing A, B, C, D. So I started restructuring my life, because my life was moving at 240 kilometers an hour.
Right. Yeah. Moving fast lane.
Fast lane in a 60 kilometers.
Right. So, tata umwenda pa mabhebhi apa ame hanzi nalazi sure mabhebhi ma-1 lazari kuchema aiwa no inini handidi vanhu vanofunga women they don't kill careers. Iwo unonga wagara wakadhakwa. Women, we love them. Women are flowers. We love them, right? So women are not the problem here. Let's just get that straight.
Exactly. They are not a problem. And excessive.
I think so. I think so. I'm just gonna read a few comments here before we continue. Koma Brian Matimuno Tamba Chimbochitambira Hema moves. My audience is like my moves, Brian.
Igonozo kutamba zvakabuda mukoma, zvokutamba zvakabuda. Igonozvitamba nemazwi chete.
Yes, we're going to be hearing some of this music that these guys do right now. And also Laziti says kule vaipisa and maibira moto. No, you did well. You did well during your time. You came up well. You did a lot. So let's move on slightly to a slightly different issue right now, because music in Zimbabwe has changed. A lot has changed. Yeah. All right. With change comes also a lot of things, right? I want to bring what might be slightly deviant from what we're talking about. Okay, how important do you think music is in our country? What is the value of musicians in our country? What like what are we getting from you guys? Because we downstream your tracks all the time, we attend your shows all the time, but other than just mujamba speaker takajagwa, what exactly what is the value of music or of musicians in general?
I think from my point of view, I think musicians are very important in a country, in any setting, in any community. I think from when we were starting to learn what civilization is, I think musicians were very important in that they help you with your mental well-being. They help you relax. They help you in terms of speaking the story of the people. When people are oppressed, musicians were always there to speak about the oppression of people. And as musicians in other countries, like in Jamaica, that tourism is attracted through the music that they sing. Everybody wants to see how Jamaica is. We want to know what their culture is because of what we listen to. Same thing with South Africa, same thing with Nigeria, same thing with America. A lot of people have not been in America, but they understand what the American system, they even know the American dream. What is the American dream? The American dream, we know, is about owning a house with the white fence. We've never been to America. We've never read the American Constitution, but we know about the American dream. So, going back to Zimbabwe, I believe that Zimbabwean musicians add value to the system. They speak for the people. They speak about social issues. They try and help people when they are going through hard times. Some of the music that we sing might be comic. Some of the music that we sing might be directed to certain authorities. Some of the music that we might sing might be just targeted on youth and love and the issues that are happening to us. So in terms of value, we cannot put monetary value on it. But in terms of well-being, in terms of what we speak about, I think we add a lot of value in the nation of Zimbabwe, in the nation of in the continent of Africa, and in the world as a whole.
Over to you, Brian. What do you think about that notion before I comment further?
I think being a musician, I call it something that is amazing on my own point of view. Why? Because it's the moment when you bring the emotion and what you have inside you, in as well as giving it to the next person, and that message changes lives. Look at a point that you release a song, and then at one point you receive a phone call or a text message that, you know what, guys, I was broken, but after listening to your song, I feel motivated and encouraged, and I want to tell you that maybe my marriage, maybe my relationship, maybe I was down, but after listening to the lyrics, and I felt so motivated, and right now I'm gathering everything that I've lost, and I'm yet to recover. So yeah, I personally think music is powerful, and I just want to thank everybody who's in the music industry here in Zimbabwe for adding value into our music industry. So yeah, that's what I think. That's what I see.
Yeah, I get the sense that in terms of the social value, the psychosocial value, like you mentioned, someone who's going through psychosocial problems, it does heal, and like what Leonard was saying, also it does work in sometimes and not so much socio-political circles, from what I gather from you guys. But I want to come back to Leonard's point, right? You mentioned the American music industry and all the things that are nice about it. One thing I want to point out to you, maybe you guys know already, that American musicians, especially black musicians, someone said, guys, play one song. We're gonna play some songs here, guys. We're gonna play a few songs, and then before we corruption. Yes, exactly. You speak right there, Laziti. I know about your song, your corruption. I think it's also important that musicians get to tackle those issues like corruption, which is just a national issue. It's not anyone's issue. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the impact of music and the value. Okay, you mentioned the American music. A lot of rap and hip hop was music that comes from a position of pain, a position of depravity, right? Ciphers were mostly talking about how black people used to live in the projects, and most of them talked about slavery and all that. So the impact that rap music had all over the world was because it was talking about issues that were real, issues that were uncomfortable for people to talk generally. So these guys were actually saying, what you're doing is wrong, lynching is wrong, racism is wrong, right? Very, very powerful and impactful music. Of course, they would then put women and nice cars and whatever, like what they're doing these days. But I think the impact that the black music movement in America made was through that they are singing about social issues without reservations. Right. So I want to come back to us again here, guys. That how much do you think our music is making impact in terms of clear-cut messaging? Not musicians. Do you have a position? Let's just say political position. All right. about the things that are happening in our country, or political position, or any kind of position. Like, I've given an example of Americans. They were talking about racism directly, and they still do. What is your position as musicians, and how are you articulating it through your music?
Yeah, that is an interesting question. I think everyone's got a position in Zimbabwe. Everyone's got a position in Zimbabwe. Whether they say it or they don't say it, because what affects people in Zimbabwe also affects us. You know, our day to day, we experience the same thing. We're experiencing would want to have electricity that is 24 hours, is guaranteed. We want to know that when we get home, we've got water, we've got hospitals that are working. You know, in having a position, everyone's got a position, because everybody wants all of those things. How we then put that position and speak about it is very different, because of the limitations, lack of a better word, the limitations that we've got. You know, everyone's got a position. With our music, we try and address it in the way that we can. We try and address it in a way that you know that tomorrow you've got something to eat, because you don't want to put it in a position where you then cut off whatever is feeding you. You know, we have our positions and we
No,
speak.
wait, but let me just cut you off right there, very, very quickly, right?
Yeah,
What's feeding you is the people, is the audiences, right?
that
Who
is
are buying
true.
and
That
streaming
is
your
true.
music and
That is
attending
true.
your live shows, but they are hungry. So you're
That is
feeding off
that,
hungry people.
that is true. There are different ways of addressing these issues. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like right now, there is a drive to try and push young people to register to vote. For me to be able to play my part, I need to do music that attracts young people. When I
Mm-hmm.
do music that attracts young people, when they come to my show, I can speak about, let's go and register to vote. You
Mm-hmm.
know, let's go and register to vote. If you feel like, you know, the situation that is there is correct with you, then you know who to vote for. If you feel like you want a better situation, then you know who to vote for. If you think this is the best position that you are in, then you know who to vote for. Because what we need to do as musicians is to know how to play our part. Some people, like in the 70s, in the 80s, there were people that were singing music yechimurenga. Taitoziva kuti chings chingaira vanotorova music yechimurenga, havatomboimbi zvimwe zvinhu, vanotorova music yechimurenga ndikoko handiti. But taitoziva kuti kune vamwe vanhu vanotorova music yekuti vanhu vafare mambo. Oliver Mtukudza anotanga kuimba 1980 akatanga kurova kuma-70s.
Right.
Airova ma-70s, airova music yake yelove iyoyo, airova music yake yaitaura nezveupenyu hwevanhu. But in his speaking about that, paitoenda mashows, I bet kuti aitozotaura kuti no, varume ngatirwirei nyika. So everyone's got a way, everyone's got a position, and everyone's got a way of speaking to the people. It might just be a tweet, inongotweetwa zvayo kuti shamwari honai ngatiende tinovhota. They are finding a way of using their voice to speak to the people. So everyone's got a position. Their position, they try and keep it in a way that serves them, for them to have something to eat at the end of the day. Because
selfishness.
Not even. We need to use wisdom. We need to use wisdom in applying these things.
Come on, guys, come on. Laziti, I remember song he didn't mince his words on that song. I listened to that song. He didn't mince his words. Okay. Let's to look at Burna Boy and the boys when this thing happened in Nigeria, right? They used their influence to actually explicitly say. I understand what you're saying, Leonard, that some people, you feed off whatever is there, because Zimbabwe is also struggling. It's got its own struggles. Okay, so I understand all that, but I'm just saying that in your influence, guys, in your massive influence, I'm sure, is there no way that you can start to plug into issues that people worry about every day? I've not heard any musician of late just tweeting or just a hashtag clean water. I've not seen that. Just clean water, just to say, they don't say anything, they just say hashtag clean water. I've not seen that kind of tweet. I don't know if you've seen it. Okay, so I'm not sure what more. What do you think? Or is there anything else that they can do more than that they're doing already, or is it that's it?
No, I think as a musician, it's a big ask. It's a big ask, and it's a big ask because we've got a lot of influence. But in terms of it's one's conviction, do they want to do it? It's one's decision. Say, okay, I want to do this. We cannot force this on people because we cannot force this on musicians, and musicians should be the only ones to speak. Because there are a lot of people that are in the limelight. There are footballers that are in the limelight. There are actors that are in the limelight. There are other politicians that are in the line, members of parliament that do not even speak, about what is happening. They're just quiet, they're enjoying their monies, and they should be able to speak. We should have people that are influential. There's nothing wrong in a minister saying that, no, guys, this is not right. We need electricity. It might be a minister of other things, it might be a minister of sports, arts, and culture. They are allowed to speak about things that are happening in the country.
Right.
It gives courage to other people to speak. We need to have doctors coming in and speaking. We need to have the ordinary citizens speaking,
Right.
not hiding and expecting and pushing the artist forward. We want a community that
collective effort,
a collective effort where everyone is playing a part. Everyone becomes brave. Everyone starts speaking about issues that are happening. I tell you that artists do tweet. When there's an issue, artists will tweet, and I've seen artists that have been doing that,
Right.
So so artists have been supporting and they will keep on supporting. So I'm saying that it is everyone's duty to do this. It's a collective effort. It's not just one-sided. These are the things that we need to direct. Not go push them artists. I don't think
that. Come through. Just just to follow up, last point on that one. What do you think our government or the states must do to increase value to the work of the artists? What is lacking?
I think there are a number of things that that can be done. Right now, our world has changed. Our world is no longer on ma LP. Izo zvakapera. Kama haichadogadzire anonzi machimabhainawo aya. It's not about selling my cassettes. Time my cassettes yakatopfura. It's not about selling my CDs. Time my CDs yakapfura. We are living in a digital era. I think the first position that they need in terms of helping the arts and helping the country as a whole to catch up with the rest of the world is making sure that they prioritize the vehicles that help the country move, that helps the country to be visible. And one of those vehicles is making internet accessible, making internet very cheap. Right now, the whole world, we are communicating with Brian, who is in Zimbabwe. You are in a different town, I'm in a different town, but we are speaking on one platform, and this is only possible, the internet. And the number of people that are watching right now is because they've got access to internet, and they are sacrificing their small amounts so that they can watch this, So I think if they can make this internet accessible, internet. Munhu ari kumberengwa ngawane access yekuti azive kuti Fusion 5 mangwiro vane new video vakwanise kuona video yavo. The amount of coverage that we're getting on the internet is a small percentage of what we could get if all these things are made accessible, made cheap, that everyone can afford. Because one thing that I know is that internet in Zimbabwe is very expensive, which means downloading becomes so expensive, which means listening to music on Spotify becomes
expensive as well.
Exactly. Which means Netflix becomes expensive, which means we are cutting the arts short. We are saving the arts short because those days of selling hard cassettes are gone. So I think this is the first step that we need to take. I think the second step will be protection. We need to protect the arts. We need to protect the arts with law. Piracy and all of that is still on, but there is no law that protects the artists. So I think we need to protect our artists in terms of their rights to speak, their rights to be protected, intellectual property. So I think if we can protect our artists, be able to stand for them and say in Zimbabwe, if if you pirate music, if you pirate movies, if you pirate ABCD, this is the law. You'll be jailed for 10 years minimum. So that we know that that's the law. Because in every other country, you know, before you watch a movie, they would, you see an advert, the days of Blu-ray. You see an advert who say piracy is 25 years minimum, or say a ridiculous price that fine that you need to pay. You know, we need to have the same system that protects intellectual property. So I believe that's what the government needs to do. If they can do that for the artists, I think they can help the arts.
Yes, I totally agree with you, because I mean, if you look at the of what assets are, if you just try to have a check of what is an asset, you see that intellectual property is there as an asset. So I think in not protecting the intellectual property of assets, I think the system, right, the authorities are also not protecting the assets of a country, right? Just to finish off, Brian, what are some of the challenges that you think musicians are facing in Zimbabwe right now? You're working in Zimbabwe right now. What are the things that we as a society need to improve on so that the work of artists become better and better?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. What did you say?
Yes, the question I'm asking is that what are the challenges that you're facing right now as an artist in Zimbabwe? Okay, and what are the things that you would wish or dream that if we had set such infrastructure, like what Leonard said, internet and all those things, what are you hearing from your audiences? What is what can we improve on?
I personally think that I'm gonna start with some of the things that Leonard mentioned, like access to internet. You know, I feel like nowadays there are a lot of people who are receiving and appreciating our content, but they can only hear you from the radio. Maybe the person is in a combi, or maybe chisongo charo via Bluetooth or something like that. But at the moment, at the same time, they don't really know who Leonard Mapfumo is, or they don't really know who Fusion 5 is. You know, I want to give you an example. We released one song like 2 years ago, and I was in a combi, and the song was playing, and myself I was excited. I was like, "Yeah, that's me in the radio," but people didn't know me.
Right.
So up to an extent that my friend shouted in the combi like, unogeda kuti chimupeso wangu dai vanhu vese vaitoziva kuti handire chicelebrity munoaisina tobhobhadhara code, you know.
Wow.
And everyone was excited, you know. Everyone wanted to know kuti ko munhu uyu ambori ani. So I think there is need to zvinhu zvinenge ana internet izvi zvinofanira kuti dzikei so that everyone can afford, you know.
Right.
Look at the power that radio have. Do you know there's someone Leonard mentioned in Mperengwa? I remember the last time was a person from a place like let's mention Kariba. They don't know Fusion 5 in the visual, but the sound and the voices they know. So when we post things, when we upload videos, YouTube, be it maybe a post Instagram, everyone should have access. Maybe I know Gudara Kwakunezema internet cafe where people would go and pay for maybe an hour, and then I know download automatically into one gachidao. Yeah, so if they can lower the tariffs, maybe what we need is to be known, and what we need is to people getting to know us at the same time. And the other thing, I want to thank a lot of people who are appreciating arts music or arts industry in Zimbabwe, and I feel there should be an increase as well. Like people should really prioritize music industry also. I wanted to say something panyaya mataura ekuti there are a lot of challenges anosangana nema artists ekuti even Zimbabwe as a whole, you know, artist mimi munotiregerera pazvinhu zvakadai so hatikunzwei and something like that. They also want artists to say things, but not knowing that we are in this together. So if you post, what an artist need, the support that we need is telling the next person about Fusion 5, telling the next person about Aruperi, telling the next person about Leonard Mapfumo. Then that's it. So people should appreciate telling the next person, sharing, giving. Yeah.
Fantastic. I really love what you said right at the end there to say that some of the things that you need it doesn't include any money. It doesn't include any money. It just includes us as the audience. Just being proud of our works, that if Fusion 5 brings out a song, we play it like mad. We stream it like mad. I totally agree with that. That's really beautiful. Yeah.
True.
Just a few comments here. More songs like Dem Loot. Okay. Honest, Angle Rufus, please don't pin the boys on politics. It's not politics, it's reality. Okay. Machimura, okay, Machimura. All right, we're gonna play a song now, guys. I'm gonna try just play Haruperi very quickly again. Hopefully, people will be able to hear it. I'm just playing it from my car. Can you guys hear it?
I think that was drama what?
Big tune. This is a new song, right? Big tune. That's a big tune, my gents. That's a big tune.
Thank you.
I don't know if the people could hear it. Let's just talk a lot more about this song. How did it come about? How was the experience of you guys? How did you collaborate on this song, Leonard? How did you come up with this song, Haruperi? What does it mean? Who the baby song?
Oh man, it's a story about young love. It's a story about young love. Komana kuti maji. Komana asatadiwa. Komana kuto impress a baby. Or my wakadai nini chi. Mloro wangu Haruperi asatadiwa. Why is it?
Okay.
It's about young love, It's about young love, expressing what you're feeling inside. I think working on this project was an amazing time. We started working on this project in 2019 before COVID, and then we shot a video. Of it in 2019, 2020 when COVID was hitting and the lockdowns were coming in. Then we shelved it. Then when I came this side, we decided, no, let's release something. Let's put it together and let's release it. I always wanted to work with Fusion 5 because of their vocal prowess. These boys are amazing. They are from Glenview. They are from Glenview, and if you think they are good in this track, you should hear them sing. Kanavari 3, Vani Ngoma Yavo Osho, Neka Kaosho Kanuz Mangwiro, ne guitar. You should hear them sing. So Nantori fan Pataita Songi. Because they said, no, Uncle Leo, Mimi just chill like we'll do the work.
Wow.
Don't worry. Mimi Chingonyore verse 1, don't worry,
Wow. Wow.
So that just said that it was an amazing moment, and I loved working with them. And you know, if it's an album, if I have to do a collaborative album with a group, I think it'll be Fusion 5. You know, it was an amazing moment, and I feel like this song, if you take time to listen to it, the production, the vocals, even the writing of it, it's an amazing song. It's an amazing.
It is a great track. I remember we made random people in Surrey, in Southampton. When we made random people listen to it, and they said it's a great track. Let's hear from Brian. Brian, how was it working with someone who wakakura uchimuona ari celebrity? So, and then the next thing, Makushanda Mese. How did you manage to hold the nerves down?
I think on this song we tried hard to give it our all. Cause so I want to thank Gilbert. I want to thank Gilbert first, like for he's the one who came with the song. Because I remember we had so many songs that we had selected, like Uncle Leo wanna do this with you. And then sometimes if you remember Uncle Leo, we had something like 5 songs that we wanted to do. So yeah. So at one time, Gilbert just came and said, like, you know what, guys? I think Chinu Chai Chai Chonda Sochuana. So we did, and we did, and we did send to Uncle Leo. Uncle Leo akatakubana Chinu Ichi boy. And we were happy. It's not about it's not about like what a lot of people would say. Panapa song iriku sound so, Panapa song iriku dai so, but the vibe and the what I would tell you, you know what? It's all about sticking to the sound. It's all about collaborations. It's all about giving different sounds and wanting to let people know what message we're trying to bring and exactly where we want to go. And we just want to thank Uncle Leo for believing in us, and for you guys to see Fusion 5 being visible, being vibrant like the way we are today. If it wasn't of Uncle Leo, we would have been like not here before. Starting from identifying the talent, nurturing us and giving us studio time and all, and we appreciate so much. We appreciate. So you always say, Anzi, Banama show guys, you know what? Anzi didn't profit away anymore, baby. So whatever that I will say, one day, one time it will manifest. So yeah, we are living the dream.
What a story! What a story!
Yeah. So we are loving it. We are loving it. We play it every day. We play it every day. We listen to it, and we feel like people are really appreciating it.
It's just playing on its own over here. It's a great track. It's got such a good vibe to it. People love it for so many reasons. I want to go back to Leonard very quickly. Leonard, you have nurtured a lot of musicians. Do you want to go back to us and just track with us the musicians you've worked with and nurtured over the years, all the way up to the project with JCMC and all the stuff that you did in China, just for people to have an idea of people like Brian, how you become to be this guy who works with all these young people?
Well, I think the journey to start working with other people, it started as as a mistake, per se. We were in we were in Dominican convent, and we were performing there. I think it was 2004, 2003, 2004. We were performing there, and we saw this young lady who was performing. She had an amazing voice. Her name was Terra Mgwadi. She wasn't Terry there, she was just a student. Rockford said, that girl is amazing. I'm gonna go and speak to her. Rockford, I'm gonna have a card by Terry. So she became the first project. So Terry became the first project of people that we started working with. And
Really?
Yeah. So from there we started every time that we found someone who could sing, who could do something, we always brought them in and said, "No, let's work together. Let's do A, B, C, D." At one point, Maskid was in a stable, yana action Jackson. Then one day we met him by Eastgate. He said, "Listen, Leo, there was a beef and Gary Boso. But listen, that beef I'm not part of it. I just want to make music. I just want to do music." I said, "Yeah, we know. We just want to do music too." Then we started moving around with Maskiri. So we had a show in Mutare, and he said, "No, Maskiri, let's go." And he told us, "Say, and it's no in Mutare." I said, "Man, don't go away. I can get by." Do what I buy one time. That first performance, I cannot do no Maskiri at the stage, music. I got up a stage, I can remember, and he blew people away.
Wow.
That journey then kept on adding more people. Then in 2008, it was I was with Joe Machingura. Joe had a place and get green side. And
he's here.
Yeah. So he had a place again. We need to do something for young people that cannot afford studio time. Young people that are struggling to find a space in the entertainment industry because of studio time. Let's put together what we have, start a studio, and start recording people, start looking for talent. Then we started doing that. And when you build something, there's a statement in which the provision follows vision. So we set up this studio. So the name that we thought is a name that was inspired by Maskiri, really, because he had a song that he said, let's just make the stable. Let's just give the name the stable the name Haitian Fish. So from Haitian Fish, provision follows vision. People started coming in. People like Shinzo Joe was at CBZA Academy, so CBZA Academy was mainly for singers, people that would sing, and Joe was there. When I'm obvious, orange, but man for enda naye kuna Mapfumo zokudizobhala ariseyo ndibva uyabatizwa Leo ndaona mfana akayipa.
He's here. He says this was 2007 to be precise. He remembers it.
Exactly. But I just akaipa achauya ndamudoti auye ndampa mari yebhasi yekuti auye. Shinzo came through ndobati posa rapa imba Shinzo ndobva arova shamwari energy yangana Shinzo aita mwari kupefomera vanhu 50
achipefomera iwewe
apefomera munhu 1 takati no mfano yakaipa. Joe and I realized something then. We realized that the next biggest sound that was coming in Zimbabwe was dancehall. But we didn't know that it was going to be called Zim dancehall. Then we said we're going to put this youngster on our side. We're going to groom him. We're going to train him. We're going to show him the ways. We're going to take him to performances. So we recorded a few songs. And I remember one time there was a show that was happening by Harare Gardens. I was performing there. Then we said, Shizo, this is going to be your first performance because Patangepan is ZBC. So we want you to perform as ZBC. So Shinzo, daga performer ndidi, ndapedza performer. Sniper va perform. Sniper performer that is rotire mfana wedu atira kuintroduce anonzi Shinso Man. Shinso Man went on stage and started performing akapfeka hovhorosi yake orange. That was his look. When he performed, people went crazy, you know. And the show was on ZTV. And ZTV, instead of interviewing us about the show, they went and interviewed Shinso. T1, if you know T1 from ZBC, that's how Shinso started getting the mileage. But it was building block by block by block. But when Shinso came and he introduced new people like DJ Mbale. He introduced yours. He introduced other artists like Yaka started coming in. People from Budiriro, Rutendo started coming in. People from Kariba, Efi started coming in. And people started coming to the studio. People like Junior Brown, at one point they were part of our production team. People like Dr. Terrence, they were part of our production team. TBA was part of our production team. At one point, Sunny was producing from our studio. So it became a family studio where people could come and record. We project as a project that wanted to support young people from Mbare because we set up the studio in Creative Side. From there, we then moved into town. From town, I then moved to JCMC. JCMC was a bigger project. JCMC had the Talent Search program, which was Dreamstar. Dreamstar is the equivalent of your Britain Has Got Talent. And with Dreamstar, we had to go around the country, the 10 provinces, looking for talent. And this talent that we would sign those ones that we feel they are exceptional. We didn't sign people that were only number one. No, we signed people that are exceptional. There's a special story about Fusion 5. Fusion 5 came to Dreamstar in 2000 and was it
15 or
15? It was 2015 for the first time.
15, yeah.
Okay.
Dreamstar 2015. Then I said, then they went into the next round. I then went to Bulawayo. Then the competitions, it was same time, it was my competitions in Bulawayo. When I went back to Harare, then I asked you, boys, so how did they do? They were eliminated. They said, how? Those boys are brilliant. Then I spoke to Steve and said, Steve, we need to look for Fusion 5. We need to sign them because they are good. We started looking for them. We couldn't find them. We couldn't find them. The next competition, 2016, they came back. They came back and I said, you boys, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you. I just wanted to sign them then. They went through the competition. They went to the semi-finals, the finals. They were the runner-ups, And from there, when they finished, I said, no, listen, guys, I want to sign you because you're a brilliant group. In their first year of recording, they won an award. But that's another story. That's a story for Fusion 5. That's a story for Fusion 5. But we then set up a stable. That's 5 artists that were coming from as far as Victoria Falls, Gweru, Mutare, Bulawayo, Bindura, you name it. We had artists that were coming from everywhere. We still got artists that are coming from everywhere. It wasn't just about music. It was now about arts. We had dancers. We had musicians. We had instrumentalists. We had theater artists. We had script writers. They are still there. That hub is still there. That hub is still operating. That hub is still supporting the arts. So this is where I've been. This is the journey that I've taken to where I am right now. It's a long one.
Tell us about some of the escapades in China. I mean, how much drinking happened in China with these boys?
I guess what happens in China stays in China.
Exactly.
No, I've been hearing stories about China. I think one day when we get time, I will be. We've run out of time. I mean, we've spoken for an hour. There's a lot that we can speak with you guys about, but I'm just gonna try and wind up this talk, and hopefully the owners of the channel will give us a chance to come and talk. I would love to have just a conversation with Fusion 5 alone, because I see there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Just briefly, Brian, just tell us that whole experience of you. Where did you go? Pamaga Shaikwana now Leonard, Pamaga in 2015, and then you decided to go back. What was that experience like?
I'm sure there's just one thing about being in a competition. When you're in a competition, you are there to win, and you are there for success. But well, things does not really turn your ways every time. Um, at some point, everyone has to go through the process and trust the process, so that when you are done, you are so confident with your product, and you won't be shy and afraid giving out the product to the people. So 2015, right. we were heartbroken. We went, and there's that moment where we told each other that guys, we don't want to be in competitions before ever again. So yeah, tanga tangoridzawo tingoimbo maraini weddings, party and something like that. But I remember we have an uncle, Sekuru Aaron. So he believed in us, just the same as Leo. So I remember 2016, he passed it through Long Chain, and he saw a poster. He even paid the money. So what he did now, he called Aaron, because he knew that our commanders were competition our chade. So he called Aaron. He was like, I need you to come. I need you to come to Long Chain right away. I need you to help me with some things, blah, 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 blah. So Aaron ran. He went there. You know what? I paid my money, and I want you to go for that audition. And now Aaron is calling like, guys, you have to be here. So I ran. I remember that day, I remember, yeah. So we went in the first audition, tutorial 2. And things were really bad. We were people that had the desire to be heard, the desire to be known, the desire to be seen. I remember getting into an audition with a guitar in a capo a wire, guitar is I was serious. So but we went in, we performed. And the first song, I remember there was Nikki, there was Leonard Mapfumo, there was Lee, and everyone was quiet. And we were just told to go out. And then we were like, as niggas are dark food this time. So the second time we were called, you guys, you made it through. The next day we came, the third day, and the third day now, so 3. So yeah. Ever since then, we were now in the system now. We're now Tamka vibe. Plus, Kanawamba was what last year, guys, we looked for you. We wanted to sign you. Then we knew there was something that was great and big ahead of us. So yeah, Takango Shingi, and it's quite amazing. And we so proud working with this gentleman. Like what he mentioned, he molded us to be the stars that we are today. And the first award that we got was after releasing Katarina, releasing the first song and the first year and getting an award. It was an amazing experience. And right now we feel we wanting to do more. And I'm not in Leonard Mapfumo whatsoever that you say, we know it will come to pass. So you have to keep speaking, my brother.
Oh, we love it. Just one last word, Brian, before we let you go and finish off the interview with Leonard. What is Fusion 5 working on next? What is on the table?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, just what is Fusion 5? I was saying before we finish off the interview with Leonard, we're gonna have one last word from you about what you're working on, what's the next project, what's the vision, and then we'll let you go and finish off the interview with this guy.
Okay. Thank you so much. The next project that we have is a Ruperi video, which is coming anytime soon. But as Fusion 5, we are working on a new project that is called Lucky, and we recorded the song at Image Studios. Gilbert is a producer, so at his studio we recorded the song, we shot the video, which is dope visuals. So yeah. Anytime expect something for Christmas. So we have got a project called Lucky that's coming anytime. So yeah.
All the very best, Fusion 5 Mangwiro. We thank you and we love you for what you're doing under the circumstances. Keep working hard, guys, and all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Nice one. All right, Leonard. We have spoken about a lot. We have had a lot, and we didn't even have enough time to finish off everything that we needed to finish off. I've always wondered, Guti, two chete yakanyorerwa chii chakaitika kuti uzotinyorera two chete. Just give us
I know it's a favorite song.
Omari two nani.
I think that project, I worked with it with one of my good friends, Zimbabwean. So in 2007, I was working on an album titled Mapfumo. So the first person that I went to was Magdi. So we recorded another song with Trevor, and after we recorded that song didn't do as well as we wanted to. So one day we were just sitting around, and I called Magdi. I said, Magdi, we need to do something. He said, what do you have as an idea? Then we went to Magdi's studio. And I said, listen, I've got a melody that I've got, which sounds like this, Then I said, it sounds amazing, let's develop it. Then we started developing it. So in the process of developing it, we were with a young lady called Rutendo Malomo, who was signed to our record label, which was Asian Fish. Then Takasatana, the magnificent producer Lazy T, who became the resident producer for Asian Fish. So we were recording from different record labels. So then we had Rutendo Malomo, brilliant musician, brilliant vocalist, an amazing person. So we started singing it. They said, no, this song needs to be sang, as girl and a boy. And Trevor would do. Then he brought in Trevor, and to Trevor and Rutendo, their voices just clicked like this. And the song was amazing. At one point, so the song, so when Magdi works, he makes a song, mixes it, listens to it, listens to it, mixes it, because he's a perfectionist. So he gave us a sample of the song. I said, no, this is a sample. It's mixed, but it's not the best. It's mixed, but it's not the best. So we kept it for a long time. Then one day, Bani Pariwa came to the studio, Asian Fish, and he said, Leo, do you have any new songs? I said, yeah, I've got songs that I've got. He said, can you play some? Then we started playing. He was like, no, not this one. He played, not this one. He played two chairs. He said, no, this one is interesting. Then we said, no, all the other ones that you listened to are mixed and mastered. He said, no. Yeah, those ones are good, but I want this one. I said, I just want to go and listen to this. I want to take it home and listen to it. Then he went to radio, and on radio he said, I've got a new song. The radio.
And he played it.
And it became an instant hit. So that song, the person who, two people that made that song, it was Magdi and Banim Parewa, who knew that we had a problem. We are perfectionists, but this song was already finished, done, mixed and mastered, and his ear said this song will play on radio. So that's how Twitter became. It wasn't a story about a young lady or anything. No.
There we are, busy thinking that, it's a love story about a guy. We're busy imagining things that don't exist.
Not at all. It was just us enjoying ourselves in that moment.
Right. Let's come back to where you are now, right? You're working on a project based in London. Just tell us about that transition. How has it been for you so far, working from a totally different city, a cold city like London?
Yeah, right. When saying cold, right now I'm waiting for the interview to end so that I can put on a
your layers.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting journey, because like I said, like I highlighted earlier in the interview, that the world is now smaller because of internet, and you can work with someone who is in Nigeria, someone who's in South Africa, someone who's in Zimbabwe when you are here in the UK. And it's been an interesting journey, because when I was in Zim, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't brave enough to say, let me call this producer who is in Nigeria so that I find out if we can work together. So I've been able to do that. The challenges that have been coming with that, so it's been good and bad. The challenges that have been coming with that is the issue that I highlighted earlier. The issue that, you know, when you're working with young producers that are back home, you find that no, I cannot download the files that you sent me. I have to go and find where I can get Wi-Fi and download, you know, which means every project is delayed by a couple of days, which means the whole project, it will be delayed by a couple of months, you know. So it's been a bit of both good and bad. Good in that we are reaching more people now, because we are in a position where we can work with anyone from anywhere in the world. But it's also bad in that the internet access in Zimbabwe is very difficult and is very expensive. And to progress in such a scenario is very hard. It delays everything. So I hope that I'm coming back to the point. I hope that the government will intervene and make sure that the tariffs for internet will be reduced to a point where you don't have to think about data. You don't have to think about internet. You don't have to think about Wi-Fi. It's like water. You know, it should always be in the taps. You know, and it's like internet. It should always be there. The world has gone in that direction. We shouldn't be lagging behind. Let it be every house. Let it be every school. Let it be every hospital that they have internet.
Yeah. Very strong points that I put it. So chicha uri kusuva right now kuti dai ndiri kuZimbabwe dai ndichidya chakati kana dai ndichita zvakati kana dai ndaenda kwakati, because I know you can't just really come out of the house and start going anywhere in London. It's freezing cold right now.
I think the first thing that I miss is the sun. I think when I go back to Zim, I'm gonna hug the sun. You don't know how important it is. You don't know how the sun changes your mood. You don't know how the sun affects how you walk, you know. The sun is such a beautiful thing. Food will be secondary, you know. I just want to be in Zimbabwe, you know, just one of his about blast of the
You miss those things, right?
Yeah, but didn't one person that homesick.
Oh wow. And now that you're locked down out there, there's all this confusion about, yeah. Just to track you back to what you're currently working on. I've been to some studios with you, especially in Farnham, where you have been sampling stuff and working with other engineers. And tell us how is the music industry so far that you have encountered in UK, right? Taking our groove, including all the other you know, artist development companies that we will not speak about, at least at the moment. But give us an overview of what you have learned just these few months that you've been here.
Oh yeah, thank you for that question. I think it's an important one, you know, in that it helps in understanding where we are as the Zimbabwe entertainment industry. In terms of our skills, I think our producers are doing a phenomenal job, because with the music that I went to other engineers and producers here in the UK for them to listen to, they love the work that that Zimbabwean producers are doing. And when they asked who produced this, where did you produce it? I said I produced it in Zimbabwe. They were curious to try and find a way that they can collaborate with these artists, with these producers, which means in terms of our skills are among the best in the world, and they are doing a phenomenal job. In terms of where the industry is, I think our industry is lagging behind in that we don't have like proper structures. What I found out in this country is that everything has got proper structures. In Zimbabwe, when it comes to releasing music, we just we just show our fans and say, "Hey, I'm releasing tomorrow." But having sat down with record label companies here in the UK, marketing companies here in the UK, they will tell you that a single will need a minimum of so and so time, which is not what we do in Zimbabwe. You know, they will tell you that an album needs so many interviews for it to be a viable album. You need to have so many interviews before the album is released. You need to start promoting your album in this number of months, which means our industry is very different. Our industry is is deprived of a system that works. There isn't a system that works. There isn't a set book that is written down and say, this is how it's done. Everybody's doing their own thing. It's either by fluke that you make it, but there isn't a structure, you know. But here I've learned that everything's got a structure. You know, if you're releasing a single, they'll tell you we're going to do A, B, C, D at this point, at this point, at this point, and then we'll release.
Right.
You know, so I've learned a lot here. I've learned that the music industry in Zim has got a long way to go, and the music industry here, it's not easy to penetrate the market because there are structures that are put in place.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. But the great thing is that we are coming from a position where we've been in the industry for too long, and with the credentials that we carry, they give us a new way into making it into the industry, getting attention to these big companies, these big marketing companies. They say, okay, if you've got these numbers, you know, if you've got these numbers, which means you have done something right. Can we sit down and talk? So because of that, I think it has helped us to make a few steps into the industry, and I think it has helped us. And we like I always say, and when we learn, we're going to take back what we have learned back to Zimbabwe.
Brilliant. I'm going to sorry guys, I've lost my voice. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's been good, Leonard, talking to you. I'm gonna let you go for now. Sorry everyone, I would have loved to talk forever, but I lost my voice. It's been really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching.